Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. We've got a lot to do today. First off though, let's address the elephant in the room. That is, the comments, about, I don't know, a good 2/3 of them, pointed out that someone, mentioning no grantees, possibly, didn't do that stone line very well. We can see the shunter heading round now. It's not the most efficient. What happened? Well, I mistook the coal icon for the stone icon. Anyway, I fixed it before I started the intro today. It is now picking up stone, not coal. Not the first time I've done that, which is interesting. Lapse in concentration. Slightly flustered from the crash, possibly. But anyway, that happened. Thank you for pointing that out. I wouldn't have seen it, and then I'd have been very confused as to why our eternal shunter was eternally waiting for its stone. It wouldn't have picked it up, ever. We've got that fixed. What are we doing then today? Not making mistakes like that again, hopefully. We have got to... I want to do something with this area, first off. But then, we're heading up, well, where we can see now, past that mountain, is a forest that needs to be hooked up. We don't currently have it hooked up at all, doing anything. And we have sort of a network going on there that could take it across the lake and then up into the hills the other side. It's busy here, isn't it? It's absolutely lovely. So it should be. We may be doing something different with the platform assignments here, and possibly sending our coal and iron train, I believe that's one there, a different direction. It might not be. It is, isn't it? Yeah, it's the coal and iron train. It might do something different. We're possibly going to have, no, we will have a diversion of sorts. Not a diversion, what would it be called? A bypass, that's what it would be called. So it doesn't have to wiggle around the route it's currently doing. So yeah, lots to do today. Hopefully we can get it done. So in the bank, nearly $1 billion. We're sort of hovering around there. We are making a decent amount of profit. We'll go and take a look at our stone shunter up here, which currently has a rather overpowered loco on it. It's not going to be that forever, so it's not going to make us the most currently. It will do though, once the other one's unlocked. We're paused on January 10th, 1999, because of reasons. I think today we can play it. We do need to put a new train on before we get going. And since I haven't made any changes to the map, it doesn't matter if this one crashes. I'm not saying it's gonna, but given what happened last time out, it's probably worth doing this first. So, the Express. We're changing this as James May, another one of our trains we named. Captain Slow on the possibly the quickest train and route we have for our network. Rather ironic, don't you think? Anyway, yes, so what are we doing? We're going to change these, aren't we? Manage vehicles. These are going to be those new ones we unlocked. If we go down to multiple units, we have this. It does 200 kilometers an hour. Yes, it's slower than the ICE-1. However, our other train on that route, the RE460 and the IC2000 wagons, that runs at 200 kilometers an hour anyway. It's gonna save us a bit of money on the running costs, I believe. It's gonna halve it. That's crazy. The capacity is slightly less, which means we could possibly add 2 more on for the same price and increase the frequency and maybe compete with the aircraft finally. So that's not a bad idea. So let's give this a go. It's lovely, isn't it? 38 million, because these are old and we're not going to get much back for them. It didn't crash. Lovely. That's a sigh of relief. Is this it coming in now? There it is. Guys, it's beautiful. There it is. I love that. I'm just going to say, it looks the part, doesn't it? I mean, you could double them up, technically. We might as well come down here. See it leave Domo. I do like these. I don't know what the camera's like. It's got the lights working there. Yes, I do like these. So that's a possibility now, isn't it? If we add 2 more on there for roughly the same price. Ooh. Could you hear that? I don't know whether that was loud enough. That was wonderful. Oh my days. Oh, you sound beautiful. Well, you are a welcome addition to the map. There's a restaurant car in the middle. We do need to put the restaurant cars on our other service as well, the IC2000. Currently they're only on one of the trains, but they are on. We'll tidy those consists up. They're almost right. We could possibly balance the first class and second class a little better. 11 minutes isn't the greatest. That's what it is. If we go to here, we've got 11-minute frequency. We definitely want to improve that, don't we? We can only carry 150 people a year as well. So it is definitely leaning very much towards us having more of these. And we can definitely squeeze in 2 more. How much money we got? Well, we dropped below 900 million. Risky, isn't it? Not at all. So if we manage the vehicles and we add, say, 1 more to start with, we'll do that. We'll get that on. And then we'll see what that does for the frequency. And also see if people become a little more interested in that line. Anyway, let's get on with today's changes. First things first, coal and iron. Now, given what our shunter's doing, if we pull up and the coal and iron train is crossing here, we're going to be sat there in our eternal shunter for an eternity. And that's not good, is it? So what I thought we could do is continue it on. It would make a lot of sense. We do have our coal trains that run this way. We also have our steel trains that run that way. If we ran it up this line, it's a little slower up here. It's not quite as slow as it is down there though, so we'd make up a little bit of time. Then we could pick up some speed, running it along here, and then join up somewhere down there. That's the plan. Shall we see what the game says? Because when we've finished drawing this, if the game engine suddenly decides that's a better way to go, then we've improved, haven't we? We can come off here quite quickly. We're going to change these. We don't want it to wiggle though. We can come off straight, I think, like that. Possibly. That's nice. Yeah, we can upgrade those tracks. So we're going to go straight off there. Now, if they do build up here, and looking at what's happening, it looks like industry anyway, so they won't be bothered by the sound. We also reduce the amount of sound emissions in Rerouting if we head this way, as we'll be pulling the sound away from here. Let's just check on the emissions layer. Yeah, it's quite noisy, isn't it, down here? It's probably noisier via the buses than it is the trains, because the high-speed ones go underground, and they do block sound emissions, so not noise emissions. Let's get this connected then. We're going to follow the terrain a little bit. We don't need to do anything close to 300, but we do want to head round. We're not going too slow. We can lower this down so when we're having our cab ride, we can see this side of the depot. And then if we head this way, we can definitely start heading down now towards this tunnel up here. If we're lucky, they'll build here. That would kind of be nice, wouldn't it? Now, can we get in up here somewhere? It would be lovely. There would be nice. We can just draw it like this because we can afford it. We can get rid of this. There we go. I like that. Let's put it in there. We'll get rid of the signals here and the assets as well. Get rid of those. If we zoom out, we can delete those easier. Here we go. It's a nice junction. We'll put in the Swiss signals there instead. This is pleasant. We can tidy up some of the scenery here. Has it moved it already? That's the question. Let's check the lines. There we go. This is quicker. I mean, it was fairly obvious that it would be quicker. It's nice to know before you force the route's hand, isn't it? What we need to do though is definitely upgrade these to high-speed track. and that will give the cornering a little bit of a boost. We'll do that one as well, so it's a nice junction. There we go, and then we can put some Swiss signals up here. I'll probably go away and do more of these later. I think we'll have 3 on here. I'll get them all tidied up. Do we want that? It's probably, well, I'm going to say that one. Oh dear, you missed that by a mile, didn't you? There we go, we got that in. Oh, you should have done that one way, really. There's no way to cross over, is there? Let's make sure that signals are on one way before we do anything. There we go. I can't see us needing any two-way signals. There goes our coal and iron train. We might take a ride on that or the new passenger train. I would like to just tidy some of this up around here. I'm going to flatten that bit out. There you go, official episode. That's nice, isn't it? Early on. I like this though. This makes me happy. What will happen is we are running downhill from this section up here. So we should be able to pick up easily to 120, which we're currently limited to via our wagons. We don't have anything faster just yet. We'll change these to 4 as we're approaching a sort of main line. No, it is the main line, isn't it? This one I'd like something like that would do. Put that there. We can add a couple of signals here because there's a nice gap in between. And this one can be yellow at the bottom. This one can be double green, I guess. I don't know what they mean. I sort of do, but not 100%. This one can have that as it's this sort of depot access now for many of our trains. And then we can go with the always green for the main line. There we go, that's pleasant, isn't it? What sort of speed you doing? Hey, already doing 120 kilometers an hour. Again, limited by our wagons. Oh, and there goes our IC 2000. Looking lovely as always. I do like these. I'm glad you like them too. Very nice mods they are. And yeah, we'll tidy this up. I'll go ahead and add some extra signals that are possibly not required, but we'll put them in anyway. We'll get rid of this one. It's time to Swissify the signals where we can get away with it, where there's no gantries required. We're only going to have 3s around here. Now, this can have a yellow on it to slow down, as it's going to be quite busy with the shunter. We'll check on the state of that later. This should be fine here. Now, oh well, we might want to check on it now. How are we doing? We've got 150 waiting with a capacity of 176, which might be ideal. In fact, that might be beautiful. I do realise we are crossing over here. We are twice. We've got the fuel train coming round as well. But this junction is a little bit quicker than that one. One thing we could do is upgrade that for a start to high-speed track. There we go, if it will allow us, which it did. One thing we could do is have this platform here, I believe it's platform 5, branch off early and then link in there if we have the room, and then both our steel and coal train could maybe just avoid crossing over here at all. Yes, that would be nice. Then what we got here? Well, this could come over slightly sooner actually. What track are we going to be on? We're going to be on this one, which comes around here, so we can't really avoid that. I mean, we could make it wiggle. It's about time this had a little bit of a refresh anyway. It's quite dated. Here's the question though, can we get round here? It's going to be a bit tight, and probably tighter than what it is now, but if it'll allow us, which it will, what sort of speed do you do? 43, 44 we can get out of it. 44 might be nice. If we do that, our train can head that way. We won't technically need this here. We can rework that entire junction. That could be a thing I'd like to do. I mean, we could also rework how we get up there then. Don't need that bridge there like that at all, do we? The first thing we need to check, do we have enough room to turn up here? Oh, go on. Really? Does it look too bad? given that this is an extension, what we could do is make this like that and reinforced, built into the arches there. Is that a thing that possibly happens? No, I would say not. But the fact that we can get in there, I do like that, guys. I do like that a lot. What we could do on this side is something different. Maybe have it cross over, because we could delete this section back. Or leave it in, because that's how it was. Well, this is all messed up now. Let's get rid of those. I'll redo those before we head out next time round. I'll make that a solid arches like that one is there. Yeah, that will look the part then. And probably reinforce it with some concrete up there where we've added to it. Now what we can do is reorganize this. Hopefully. Currently, this is how the state of play is. We've got the stone shunter comes into here. What we could do with it, since it's going to be quite frequent, is switch it to 4. So it's on there. Let's bring up the lines here and then shrink that down a little bit so we can see what's going on. Yes. Then we can shift these over to 5 so that they bypass here, including the coal can go over to 5 as well. That leaves the coal and iron train to be free of all traffic, which we do want to keep moving. Now, our fuel train does cross over here, but I'll accept that. We've really reduced how much is going on there as far as interruptions via the steel and coal train merging with the coal and iron train now that it's heading off this way. What I might do is make this a little tidier and not have it connect at all, and have a gradual arc around here with a shorter bridge that starts somewhere over there, which would make a lot more sense, right? Because then we could pick up speed gradually but hold that speed. We don't need this second line anymore, so we've got some options here, guys. Do we make that old track as we've moved on in history, or do we just delete it? We are going to pay for the privilege of having that in regardless, unless we delete it, because we do pay maintenance on our infrastructure. But anyway, that's tidied that up, hasn't it? I don't know where he's going to go into now. He'll probably just use this one for now. This is tidier. I like this. We can do some other things here. We need to change those signals over. We also have some sneaky slow track here, so let's get rid of that as well. We'll just change that to high-speed track. Beautiful, about time we did that. Oh, do you know, this isn't right. That's not how that would sit at all. Not unless there was a lake there, but we don't want to put a lake there. Or a lake would be more like a puddle grand. Anyway, let's increase that. What we're going to do is tidy that up and make it look better, because the road and the track are very close to the same height by the time it gets up here, and it shouldn't be as steep as it was. There we go. That's beautiful, isn't it? It looks much tidier now. I've been meaning to do that forever and never got around to it, but there we go. That's beautiful. That doesn't look as bad now. Not that this road is ever used these days. I don't know whether we can have a road that runs up into Fruitigen. Might be an idea, right? Just to get some traffic running on there. That'd be kind of nice. How's this looking? Gran, you've got to do the wood, and we're like 20 minutes into the video and you've got nowhere near. This is going to be interesting now. I'd like to see how this plays out with our new layout. Our coal and iron train's only going to get really held up by, well, that's a point. It's going to get held up by this. We could release the coal and iron train or the shunter much earlier by having a signal just after the junction there. We'll stick with 3s on here. It is one way. We can have it on the bridge there, providing it fits. I guess we can always have it like with the yellow on it, reduce speed, as it's entirely possible there's always going to be a train there. There we go. I like that. I'll change those. We don't want to go sitting changing signals all day. Right. There's some money in the bank. We're nearly back up to $1 billion. Today, this is what we're supposed to be doing, that I kept saying I was going to do. Where on earth are we going to fit a pickup point? I'm going to hit play on the date as well. Why not? We'll have it up to half speed. Let's get us a truck stop in here. Buildings, what do we got? We just want the possibly by era is not needed. Although if we do choose this, we can maybe have different gravel. I would like it fairly long. I'd like our trucks to sit up there. I would also like you to sit there if possible. Maybe we can just raise this up a touch. It doesn't look like it will connect at the moment, but it will eventually. Okay, we're only going to need one truck stop on this. So if we go in and configure this, it only needs to be one way as well. Let's get rid of that. Let's add, it'll be this furthest side. Then we can maybe have a one-way road coming across. Another thing we can do is put some dry storage over there before we set it all up. So we'll delete all that back, get us some dry storage on here. Because it's going to be logs. It would make a lot of sense. There we go. Like that. We may be able to detail it up a little bit over here. We could have a few buildings back here to make detailing interesting. Even though we're not going to use them, we can have them as scenery, can't we? I don't mind that. That looks the part. Yes, that's lovely. That doesn't look too bad, does it? Then all of our logs can sit in there. Depends how good it looks once we hook it up. Right, one-way road. If we bring it off at that angle, we can always colour it in as well. We'll use the city roads because they're a bit bigger. I like that. Now, you need it curvy, grand. If that curves round, is that going to be okay for an Arctic to get around? It should be, shouldn't it? We can always check it. Oh, I wish they'd do these junctions better. I guess we could paint over it. It wouldn't look too bad. I'll give it a go. We've got a bit of height there. That's fine. We can cover that. Bring it down. There we go. That's as steep as it will go. Oh, we probably are too high. Well, once it's all tidied up round here, it won't look too bad. I'd like you to go in there somehow. I know it's a bit excessive. That is rough. I'm guessing this bit of road was done before I put the limits in. So what we might need to do is redraw this section of road. So pause that. We're going to redraw this so that it makes more sense down here. Right, let's get us a country road down there. But this time at the correct grade because, yeah, it was drawn before I added that mod. That should have a bit more height to it, which it does. Now we can get this one-way section going down into the bottom somewhere. We are going to fill it in. And where can we get in? Somewhere at the bottom would be nice. I'd just like to bypass it completely. The main road where our stone trucks are. As you can see there, it's almost identical in height now. I'm not sure about all this. We'll put it in anyway. And then we just drive off down this side, is it? I hope so. So we'll be crossing over there, but on this side we'll be merging with traffic. There we go. Yes, there we go. Right, let's tidy that up. We can hit play again. We tidy that up, you see. It's not going to look too bad, and it's going to look like it's supposed to be there. I kind of like this, sort of. Might do something else with it, though. Is that someone walking? No, it's a bird's shadow. I don't know how they would have got out here. It would have been interesting. All sorts of official episode today. That road's fairly steep, isn't it? I hope we get across here all right. I mean, we could use the slip roads wherever they are. That is entirely possible. And we could paint them wider so they don't look too bad. I'm sort of feeling that. That's better, isn't it? Is that the right one? We can just use any of these. I guess it's that one, really. Yes, that might work. It's not perfect, but it's better, right? It's a shame you can't paint over that as well. But yeah, that's better. Alright, let's get the terrain tool here. Just lower that there. It looks the part. Perfect. And we can go straight out from here. Possibly around here too. So we can have a little bit of detailing later on. around here. See, eventually it meets up with the rest of the terrain there, and it's not too bad. Tidy that up. Now we've got a little bit of detailing room. Question is, do we reach it after all that? No, we don't. Yeah, we do. That would have been terrible, wouldn't it? We'd have done all that and then didn't actually reach it. We can make this gravel. We'll let it all run first. So there we go. We've got that connection in here. We run down here to the side. That should be working quite well for our trucks. Where we got to go? We're going to have to go all the way down here. Interestingly, the way this is laid out, we can come off the side here. I think that will work. We'll come off there straight and then we'll head down. It should be nice view coming all the way down like that. I think that's enough to turn around. Yeah, as long as cars don't use it, which they might, which would be awkward. Saying that, this is going to be quicker. It'll be unlikely. Some people that live over here might branch off and go down there. Okay, so we'd need another dock on here. We need the large. We could branch it off something like that perhaps and go off to the side. And then maybe? That's all you need, isn't it? Landing. And put the landing on there. That sort of works for me. Could we do something... not there. Could we do something similar over here? Well, that's a distance, isn't it? Although, I don't think it really matters where we drop it off. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? A bit of scenery. Can we go into this one and configure as well? We'll put some there if we can squeeze it in. We sort of can. That's nice. I like it. We have plenty of room here for big trucks to come in. We could even extend it if necessary. Because this is just a drop-off at the moment. We could even have a smaller drop-off somewhere else. Maybe along the road here. And then we'd head back this way and make our way up here. I sort of like the idea of crossing the track. Which means we could have this like that instead. Because it's going to be a busy industrial area. So where do we... We're only dropping up. No, we're picking up as well, aren't we? We could... Yes, we could pick up. How would we get it over to there, though? By truck from here doesn't make much sense. It's almost feeling like we could have a bit there. A little section just to take it backwards and forwards. That is tempting. Let's just do it like this for now. Get it hooked up and see what happens. Because what it's going to do initially is almost have a full train going back. So I think that's a good thing. This is going to be required. We don't have to hook it up on the return journey just yet. But we can do it later. Oh, I like that idea, guys. Let's get it all hooked up. Right, so there's going to be a new line running from here down to there. And we'll have that as logging. I think what we should do though, we could run it and drop off down here. Because if we've got logging trucks running down there, they can just drop off some... I don't know. How would that work? Let me think on that, guys, before I go making a real meal of it. I like this. We cross over here. You're on the wrong platform though. Probably need some better naming. Need it on number 2, don't we? There we go, lovely. And then we join back in there. That's nice. Then we drop off here. We might need to make this 2-way by the looks of things. Yeah, that 1-way system no longer makes sense. Although, we could swap these around. It wouldn't matter the little trucks doing that. Oh, there's an idea. Yeah, there we go. What is this going to be? This is going to be... I'm not sure what this is going to be. It's not Interlaken, is it? Be more like Oberhofen. Uberhofen, even. Uberhofen logging freight. There we go. We're still not running enough here. Let's change the terminals over. Let's put that on terminal 2. And we'll put that on terminal 1. Because our Arctics then can just slide in the side. And our little trucks can do that little turnaround. I would say we probably need another truck on here though. I'm going to put 2 more on there for now. Until we've got some better capacity, smaller vans or something running that. Right, that won't have done anything to this. We do have a depot up here though to send our trucks out. So we can get our Arctics and send them down there. Let's get us an Arctic. It won't... Oh no, Grand, what do you need to do? We don't have ships running this way. What we'll need to do is set up a new line. We'll have another ship running across here. A little tugboat thing. This one can be brown so we know what's going on. Wood shipping. Yeah, that's not the best name, but I'll take it. So we've got that. Now we can link up this. Again, we're going to need to expand one of these sides. It would make sense though. Configure that. Let's add more platforms. Cargo. Can we add these? What are those? They look like lovely. Dry storage, right? That's what we need. I guess we can have a gap in the middle. Doesn't really matter. There we go. Some dry storage down there. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's added to it already. I guess, like I said earlier, we could have these drop off on a little road down here. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? That wouldn't be too bad, would it? We could have something like a little road come around here and just do that. Like that. And then have a little drop-off point here. Since we don't really need to drive down there. And then these grain... I think it's these grain trucks that would be using that. They can just have a little shed down there. Drop off to. Straight into the docks. We want freight. And these, we can just have this up here somewhere. Next to this looks the part, even though that's not the one we're dropping off to. Oh, I do like it. It's happening. Manage the line. Instead of dropping off in there, we can just turn around, head straight back up, couldn't we? We can get rid of the waypoint. Which one is that? And then after the farms, could you go there? And then we'll remove the harbour. Like that, and then we just turn around and go back out in our little trucks. I love it, guys. And then we could make these. What could we make them? We could make these. Those here. Down here. There we go. Brand new trucks. Oh, they're beautiful. Indicating to go round there. Yep, that'll do. We can remove some of those as well. Right, so that's that bit in. Final bit to connect up then. We've got to go new line. Our final new line is going to go from the harbour all the way up to... You haven't put it in yet, Gran. Yeah, that won't work, will it? Have another one of these just here. On one side will do us. We don't need a wrong side. One there, one there. If we put that up here, as long as we're connecting there, then we can turn round up there, can't we? And then head back off. Alright, let's go in and modify this. Again, we need some dry storage on here instead of that we've got. Get rid of that. A bit excessive to start with, since we're not picking up. However, we will be eventually picking up some of the planks, maybe. I don't know. Either way, it only needs to be one way, doesn't it? So we exit out of there, enter into there. There we go. Beautiful. And then we'll have... This road can stay 2 lane, I guess. It looks better. If we come around there, can we have a little... Yeah. Okay, you don't want to. That's fine. I'll make it work. Get in there. No, you're not doing that very nice at all. I'll do it manually. Not the best turnaround, but it looks pleasant. Right, and then that can head out that way. That'll do, wouldn't it? Could it use one way? Maybe. If it looked better, possibly. And what we got here, guys, a load of new planes that we're probably not going to use. BR-185DB and a Series 246 and a BR-185. There we go. Tidy this up. We'll make all of this colour so it looks like a bit more of a yard thing that's going on. But let's get us painting tools. I believe it is that, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. Make that a little bigger so it's easier. We'll hold shift. We'll make this one big yard. We'll get rid of the trees in a second. Where's the deletey thing? Get rid of those bushes because that doesn't look right. There we go. It's a big old yard area for our Arctics to pull around into. I like it, guys. I like it. It's a bit steep up here, but at least I did take out the steepness somewhat. Right, hit play. We're in the year 2000. We can now go back to that line we half started. Add this and then add that. Does it look the part? Yes, it does. That color will be fine. Yep, it's different to everything else. We can use this existing waypoint after Speeds West, which needs a better name. Beautiful, look at that. Look at that spaghetti that we've got going on there. A short little trip up into the hills. It's going to take logs to start with. But that should be that. Let's get our trucks on then, and then we can assign them some lines, and then we'll just see how that works. After that, we'll do a little bit more to it. I mean, for now, all we need to do is get it running. It's scenery more than anything. Now, we had some cool ones down here, didn't we? Where are they? These timber, they do both. 4 to start with, and then we'll put these on the, not that line. That's almost as bad as doing what you did before. Let's put these on the logging freight. They should go pick up. Has this kicked into gear immediately? I'm going to say no, and the reason is we don't have any ships running out there, so let's buy us a couple of ships to run that. We'll just run these. I think they'll do just fine. Yep, they take logs. We'll have 2 of those running, and we'll stick those on the wood shipping. Good name, Grand. Once we link this one up and put a vehicle on it, this should kick into gear. You could pause it. No, you're not going to though, are you? You're going to pretend that it's a race, which it isn't. I guess you can just come out from here. That's a bit silly. Do we have a... Yeah, we have a depot up here. Well, yeah, there we go. We don't need quite as many of these anymore, do we? Get rid of one of those. See how that does. And buy a couple of vehicles. Again, we'll go with these ones. I just love them. We could have the 40-ton truck, nondescript, but I like these. They're very nice. We'll have, I guess, 3 of them running that. See how that does. And we'll stick those on. You should see it up there. The, what's it called? Line 1. I'm going to guess that's what it is. That's a brilliant name, Gran. Right, can we rename that? I don't know what it's going to be. Not Interlaken, it will be more like Speeds Logging Freight as well. We'll call it that and see what happens. Has that kicked this into gear? It has indeed. Let's quickly... Now, they won't be going this way, so there'll be no jackknifing involved. They'll be coming in from this way, which is a little bit smoother. Manage the line. We'll have this. Wait until full, I think. There we go. Because they're going to carry a lot. 42 at a time. That should be ideal. We don't want them heading off any sooner. Bit of a backlog there. Anyway, guys, that's been an episode. A busy one. When we come back, what we'll do is we'll check up on everything. Take a ride on some of our new trains. I'm going to pause the date again before we head off. Right, we're on board one of our stopping express trains again. Why, do you ask? Well, there's some camera issues with the brand new one we've got on the express line. However, the cool thing about being on this one is we'll more than likely see one of the new express trains passing us, which will be just as cool. In my opinion, it might not be. I would have preferred to be on our new express train. We could take a ride on the freight train as well, but I chose this because we'll at least have some speed going through the tunnel and maybe see some of the new trains. It'll be interesting to see when we come back just how the new freight layout does, especially the coal and iron freight. We'll check up on the stone haulage that we've got. Not haulage, freight, the shunter. What else do we need to check up on? Yes, our new overly complex logging system that's going on. It's going to make a bit more money for us on our existing logging trains that are heading up there, because now they're going to be taking hopefully a full load-ish back each time they come in there. If not, it's going to be a bit more, isn't it? There'll be 2 forests feeding that sawmill now, so that'll be cool. I'd like to see how that does. Anyway, guys, I'll leave you with a little bit of a train ride, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we see one of our new express trains pass us. Maybe in the opposite direction. It won't be in front of us anymore, will it? Because we bypassed the slow line. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.